Hey guys, I'm going to be doing some soil testing today, so I thought I'd share with you guys how I do it. And last fall we tilled this up and planted it in rye, clover, winter peas, and brassicas mix, and it did not do well at all. We didn't get much rainfall, but it really didn't come up hardly at all. And it's supposed to come back up in clover this spring, and it's not looking too well. So I'm gonna do a soil test and see what's going on. So what I do is I just find the spot I want to get the soil at, kind of scrape away the leaves, and then you don't want any vegetation growing in it, so you just make a nice spot, and then you dig a hole, and then you have this nice wall, and I just put my shovel right there. Bring that up. So you have a nice slab of dirt, and it's probably a little deep. I usually go about 5 thumb lengths, and then kind of cut it off there. Once you have about 5 thumb lengths deep of the soil, I usually kind of make a flat edge and do a width of about 3 for each of the locations that I'm going to do. That slab of dirt, and then I just knock it off into my bucket and move on to the next site. And depending how big the field is, this one's about a half acre, I'm gonna do 4 test holes and put that same amount of dirt into from each hole. So here I have my 4 soil spots that I took from that field, and as you can see, they're kind of wet and clumped together, so I'm probably going to break them up really well and then put them in the sun to dry, because I think it matters if the soil's wet or not. I think I read that because I sent it into Mossy Oak Biologic, and hi birdie. But I think it matters, so we're gonna make this really fine, and then we're gonna put it in the sun so it can dry out. And it definitely is easier to break it apart like this if it's still wet. If it's dry, it just turns almost like rocks. So we're gonna do this, and then we'll show you the final soil result. So after you get your soil all dried out and kind of get the clumps out, to get it, pretty fine, I like to mix it up. I just use my hands and mix it pretty well. It's probably already a little bit mixed up if you got the clumps out like I have. But then I just, once I'm happy with how that looks and it's fairly dry, I take this paper plate and I just scoop up some, and then I bring it out like this, and I start taking all these roots out because the lab's not going to want those in there. And you just got to do the best you can. I'm not really sure why it matters, I just know they don't want them in there, so I don't question it. But this field sure seems to have a lot in it. So after I get this all de-rooted and kind of break up the bigger clumps, I put it in this, I just use plastic bags, plastic Ziploc bags, and it doesn't have to be perfect. There's still a few roots in here, and there's so many of them, you can't really make it perfect, so I just kind of call that good. Fold this over. And then I'll do that probably two more times, so I get this bag pretty well filled. So now I have a nice bag of dirt. I only had to do one more plate full, and I have real nice fine dirt and not too many clumps. It's fairly dry and most of the roots are picked out, so I'm good to go there. And we send ours to Mossy Oak Biologic, and all you have to do is just put it in a bag like this. You print out a form that they have, and you pay $7.50 and ship it to them, and they'll email you, or I think they can call you with your results in like 5 days max. And it works out pretty well for us. They send you a real nice form, tell you what to put on it as far as lime and fertilizer, and we've been doing it wrong in the past 4 years or so, and we've spent a lot of money on fertilizer that can't even be used by the plants because the pH is so low. Our ground here in Missouri it's got to be some of the worst soil you can grow stuff in. It's one of our plots has a soil pH of 4.8, which is just outstandingly low, and but we're trying to get that fixed, and we're doing some more soil tests so we can grow better crops for the deer. But thanks for watching. Subscribe to BioBall Outdoors and go to the website for calls and other gear.